Hello everyone and welcome back to the Bantamweight Boxing YouTube channel. I know 2 videos in one day, but I had to do a little video about Amir versus Kell Brook. It is tonight. So excited for this fight. Waited so long to see it. Everyone has been yo-yoing as well with their predictions. I've gone back and forth. I started off back in Amir Khan. Now I'm back in Brook. I feel pretty confident with Brook, but still, I know it's a 50-50. And everyone's just winging it, really. No one really knows what we're going to see. There's so many factors involved, with them being older, the kind of punch resistance from both fighters, the weight issues possibly with Kell Brook. He looks good on the scales. He does look slightly drained, but we just don't know how that's going to affect him in the actual fight. I think there is rehydration stuff as well, clauses, so that could play a factor. So just so many ifs, so many things up in the air, which just makes for such an exciting fight. But yeah, wanted to say a few comments, few final thoughts before we see the fight. First thing I'd like to say actually is how confident Amir Khan has looked throughout this whole build-up. Started with the gloves are off, very composed, very relaxed, good talker, winding up Brook. Just kind of, he's showing that, yeah, I'm excited for the fight, but I've had bigger fights, yeah, this will be good to win, but, I've had big fights in America and whatever. And then Brook's just sitting there, just fuming, just, he's literally just winding him up. So you've had kind of two polar opposites in kind of their moods. Like Brook's just been fuming, so angry, just wants to knock this guy out so badly, and then Khan just oozing with confidence, and that's despite the fact that he's actually the underdog by the bookies, which I think really did that was the only time I think Khan was a bit annoyed that got brought up in the press conference. But still, he's oozing with confidence. And is that a facade? Who knows? We'll find out. Is he secretly shitting it? I don't know. I think this fight means more to Brook than it does to Khan. I think if Brook loses this fight, I think it's going to be very damaging for him. But I think if Khan loses the fight, I feel he's confident enough. He's confident enough in his whole resume, his whole career, stemming from being, winning a silver at the Olympics all the way to the big fights, in America, etc. Winning a world title twice. I think he's quite content, but I think Brook feels he really does need this win. I think it will hurt him a lot more. But let's get into kind of not so much how I see the fight going, but yeah, a bit of that. But what I think both fighters need to do. Let's start with Khan. So obviously we know with Khan, his hand speed is everything, because it's the first thing you think of when someone says Amir Khan, and obviously he's going to have to utilize that. I think it's going to obviously be a massive factor in the fight. It always is with a lot of Khan's fights, because his hands are so fast. The opponent needs 3 or 4 rounds just to kind of get used to it. And that's why we see, I think, Khan always starts so well in a fight. Obviously, he is a quick starter himself, but it's also because the opponent is taking so much time to adjust to this kind of hand speed, get the timing down. And that's why we see Khan, he's blown out fighters quite early on in a lot of his fights, recently Le Greco, and also in the Maidana fight, I think he knocked Maidana down in the first round, which that is not something you see very often. So for Khan, I think obviously he's going to have to utilize that. And when I think about the fight in terms of Khan winning, I see him doing it in 2 ways, and both ways couldn't be more different. The first is I could see Khan blitzing Brook in the first 4 rounds or so and knocking Brook out. I could see him coming in, going, I'm going to start super fast, letting the hands go, 1s and 2s, and just, as I've said before, what we saw with those other fights, just kind of, discombobulate Brook, throw him off, confuse him, and it's not going to be like a big shot that knocks him out, but just gets him down and gets him out of there early. That's one possibility. The other is I see a unanimous or, unanimous decision, 12 rounds, of Khan kind of just in and out, throwing the ones and twos, circling, frustrating Brook. Again, said it 1,000 times, using that hand speed, and just kind of not coasting, but almost, just boxing his way to a decision. I could see that happening. We've seen Khan outbox top fighters. Him versus Canelo, he was beating Canelo until we saw that devastating blow. He was frustrating Canelo, but Canelo did get the timing down and hit him with that big shot. Which leads me on to Brook. What has Brook got to do to win this fight? Or how do I see Brook winning this fight? Well, the first thing is he's got to go to that body. That is, for someone who's fast like Khan, your biggest kryptonite, or your serious kryptonite, is someone working on your body, because it's going to slow the legs down, it's going to slow the hands down. And that's what I think Brook needs to do. Early doors, it's okay to lose those first couple of rounds, because I think he will. I think Khan, will be coming at Brook fast, and Brook will have to adjust with those first 4 rounds, get the timing down, get used to that speed. But while he's doing that, I think he's okay to sacrifice those first 4 rounds, but make sure he's getting those body shots in. And slowly you'll see that effect come in for like round 5, round 6, where Khan starts to slow down a little bit. Again, bringing up the Canelo fight, but in the other way, is exactly what Canelo did. He was okay to lose the first couple of rounds, but every now and then was getting in, boom, there's a shot to the body. And Khan was like, oh, bloody hell. Slowly, that came into effect. Later on, Khan slowed down. And as he slowed down, it was easier for Canelo to get the timing. And then he was just setting up that big shot. And oh my God, just thinking about that big shot, Jesus Christ. And I think Brook, Brook has got to replicate that. I think he's okay to lose the first couple of rounds, work the body, get the timing down, and then rounds kind of 6, 7, start putting it on him. He should be doing that the whole fight, but I mean, that's when he should be able to get the timing down and then looking for those big shots. I also think for Brook, he's got an advantage in the sense where I think Brook can punch with Khan. A lot of fighters can. We've seen it in the past. Danny Garcia did that. He was okay with taking a few shots from Khan to land a few. And I think, Brook will be able to, although he's taken damage in the past, the damage he took was from Golovkin and Spence. Big boys at that weight, big boys. So I think he'll be able to take shots from Khan, and I think drawing Khan into a bit of a scrap later on will probably work for Brook, and then that big shot I think will come, and that's what I think will happen. That's what I think is most likely to happen. I think Khan will get drawn into a bit of a scrap later on, round 6, 7, 8, which he usually does, especially if he gets hurt. You've seen him do that before, and I think Brook will knock him out rounds 8, round 9. That's what I'm thinking, but who knows? Let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Drop it in the comment section. I'm keen to find out. A few hours before the fight takes place. I think what Brook does need to be careful of is getting frustrated. It's going to be difficult those early rounds, and if Khan continues to box very well, he can be in and out and circling the ring, and Brook needs to make sure he doesn't get too frustrated and too caught down and knocking him out early and hurting him very early. But we'll see. I'm picking Brook to win. I actually really hope he does win. Although he's not the bookie's underdog, I kind of feel in the whole context of it, he's kind of the underdog. Amir Khan's got such a big name, and I'd really like Brook to win this one. But yeah, let me know who you'd like to win, who you think will win, and please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. But thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.